I'm Robert Cavuto, and today on Metal Rules, I'm pleased to be speaking with Augustine Nilsen and Trond Holter from one of my all-time favorite bands, Wigwam, to discuss the release of their new single, Human Fire, and their participation in the greatest battle of the bands, Europe's Eurovision Song Contest. Guys, welcome, and thank you so much.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
Oh yeah.
I know how busy you guys are preparing for this Norway Song Contest, Eurovision, so it means a lot to me that you're talking to me today, so thank you.
It's a lot of work, but it's great fun. I mean, you're releasing a song and you have that much attention and that much work to to make that those 3 minutes spectacular with the Norwegian broadcasting, putting a lot of money into it, and it's gonna be
Good.
spectacular.
Good. You guys are great. And like I said in my introduction, one of my favorite all-time bands, and I
Thanks,
miss
Rob.
seeing you guys. So hopefully I get to see you guys real soon.
Hopefully, come
Thank
down
you.
and play the East Coast.
I will. I will.
Love to do that.
So, you released the
Then
new.
we can bring you some of our beer to. Actually, I'm drinking Tron right now.
Oh my God. Really? You guys got your own beer?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
called the Tasty Bear.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's why people in Norway are so happy these days. They drink wigwam beer and they kind of,
It's a special extra happy drink.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little too early for me here to start drinking on a Friday. It's
Yeah, of
8 o'clock.
course.
Give me 2, 3 hours and I'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
So the band surprised fans out of the blue, or should I say out of the dark, with the new song, Human Fire.
Ooh.
Know
What
that one.
spurred the release of this new song?
Well, we're constantly writing songs and preparing for a new studio album, plus a compilation album that we're calling Monumentals. And so while writing songs and producing stuff, we came up with this one, and the Norwegian Broadcasting, they have they have requested for us to be a part of the Eurovision Song Contest again, and we kind of given them the thumbs down every time because been there, done that, and we're not into writing songs especially for that occasion. So this time we were in the studio and we were kind of arguing about what kind of song to write. We weren't in the same kind of mood, but then we kind of just found the same inspirational thing, and we got into it and wrote a song that we all looked at each other and said, this could be actually a great song for that kind of purpose.
Yes.
This song could actually have another kind of life than just being a part of an album. So we finished it because we were so creatively, active during that week.
Yeah.
Everything came together, and I wrote the lyrics during night time and came back to trance and recorded the vocals, and we're like, wow, maybe they like this one. That could be a cool song for
Yeah.
Eurovision song, and they freaking loved it. And yeah,
It is a great song. I mean, it really showcases the band's innate melody and sensibility, and as well as the ability to deliver a rock hit. It's a tremendous song, and I think you got a winner on your hands with this one.
it's kind of more mellow than I mean, if we were to participate in Eurovision Song Contest again, what we always told each other was we would never try to repeat the "In My Dreams"
Right.
thing, because that's a part of our history. Coming back, trying to write a new song that was like, well, now we're gonna try to do it again. This time it felt so right because this song, without us thinking about it, had this more mellow drive, and the lyrics kind of popped up because I had been writing a song called Human Fire kind of a couple of years ago when I worked with a guy, EDM guy,
Okay.
just writing songs, having sessions. And this song came up, and I just took the theme from that song because that song also stemmed from another song I had written on piano. So
Yeah.
everything just fell to place, and the theme of the song about standing up for yourself,
Yeah.
being proud of yourself, anyway, nobody can tell you that you're not worthy of being exactly who you are.
Yeah. I thought it was an inspirational song. It was very uplifting, and anybody could enjoy it for a standpoint of pursuing of a dream.
Yeah, I think everybody can relate to it too,
Yes,
because
and that's unusual. Not everybody can relate to songs out there. They're particular, or they're this, or they're that. They're hardships. This one, I think everybody can relate to, and that's what I think is really the best part of the song, the relatability.
cool.
And
Because
I guess everybody could interpret
you're a
it.
human fire.
Yeah, and I guess everybody could interpret it in their own way and put it to whatever their current frame of mind is at the time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, Trond, I thought this was an amazing arena rock song.
Yeah.
It really hits the mark, I think, as a great single. Was that what you were thinking when you came up with the riff?
Yeah, of course. We always think, how a song could, be when you play it live, will they sing? That we have to have some chanting.
Yes.
That's what we always strive for. And it was funny because we came in on a Tuesday, wrote the song, recorded it on Wednesday, mixed it on Thursday, and sent it into the broadcast company on Friday. And everything kind of clicked and was, just great fun. And since we wrote it together, it was even better.
Yeah. Some of the best songs I think were written fast. Like John Waite's I Ain't Missing You was written like
Yeah,
7 minutes in the back of a cab. I mean, I think this is
yeah.
fantastic. It's sometimes
That's
too.
an all-time favorite, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me too. I actually saw him with Bad English in Miami years back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've interviewed him a bunch of times. He's a hell of a nice guy too.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Still putting out music too. Still putting out great music.
I know.
Great song.
I just saw a documentary about him.
Yes, I think I did. Yeah, I think I did too a little while ago.
Good one.
Yeah, I did. I did. I haven't seen him live yet, but I when next time he comes around, I'm definitely going to do it. When we spoke,
Like Trump said, it's so rewarding to sit around. I mean, if we're together, the three of us, the songwriting part of the band, and sometimes you will have an idea, and it's hard to get the other guys to follow you on the specific idea that you have. You have already painted the landscape, and here comes other painters in, and sometimes they will do different brushes than I was intended, and it kind of. But this time there was no, everything was from scratch.
Yeah.
So we all just put different ideas into it. We kind of had a thing for it to be something, the kind of groove that we wanted, and we like the way that we managed to collaborate on this one without anyone feeling that their idea was ripped apart or anything, because we had this blank thing, and we just added stuff, and everything just got on from there, building a house from scratch. It's cool. I love that.
Speaking of what Trond said earlier, this came together relatively quickly. Out of your whole catalog, what song took the longest to write and record?
Mhm.
You know what? Probably some of the songs from Wall Street. I remember we did. What's the name of that song again? Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Dum, dum. That song that we what's it? We tried so many different ways of recording that song, and we never, to be honest, we never really nailed it. It was like that song now is like, no,
It wasn't baked.
Our minds, our minds were somewhere else on that record.
I remember you telling me.
The band was not in a good space at that time, so it was a
Some
strange
good
album,
songs
I
on
think.
Wall Street though, but most of them are kind of schizophrenic.
Yeah.
They are.
It didn't really sound like a good old-fashioned wig bam.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
And that's the only album we never didn't tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No tour, nothing.
Well, you broke up shortly after that, or went on hiatus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did like one TV show, and that was it. Goodbye.
Well, I'm
But
glad you.
the song Wall Street has been a regular song that we do
Yeah.
in every show. I love that song, so it still has its good parts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I saw you in Virginia, you played it, so it's great.
Yeah.
yeah, we love playing that song, and it's cool to have something from each album, and that was probably the one.
That's funny. At least you're honest about it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And the fun part about Wall Street was that we had this idea to make this, the cover art. Let's take the photo in kind of an office thing, the office theme, the Wall Street theme. So we had this office in the center of Norway in Oslo, and we made these cool photos, but Frontiers didn't have time to wait for it to be finished. So without letting us know, they had suddenly released it with a cover art that we never had seen before.
Oh wow!
The very bad, the sky and the Wall Street sign.
Yeah,
It's like somebody had put together on their
stock
laptop.
art. Yeah, with stock art. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus! And we had this great thing. So in Norway and Japan, we released the album with this great cover art that was actually planned.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world, they will see that lousy guy with some dollar bills falling down.
Raining that.
Oh, I was crying to myself.
Not a lot of marketability on T-shirts for that, right?
It was terrible.
Oh.
When we last spoke, when you released Out of the Dark, you told me that you had another album worth of material completed and recorded for the next release. I'm assuming Human Fire was brand new, like you said, but what's the status of those other songs for a potential album? Because we need a new album.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs there. And, when we released that album, that was the last one that we released on Frontiers.
Oh, really?
And we told them, that because let's face it, they're not working as hard as the artist wants them to do.
Yeah.
There was no support when we went to America, nothing, and so we told them, Out of the Dark is probably the last album that we're going to release, so we don't want any other options. But we had already written loads of songs, and now we're just waiting for the right kind of deal, the right label, and how to do it, because we have signed with Universal for this single. They might do an album with us. We don't know. They're more single oriented, but still we have King Records out of Japan that wants to collaborate again.
That's great.
And then we have a couple more labels that are interested, but we figure we don't want to do another round of kind of the Frontiers music thing.
Right.
We need someone that is a part of the team that really wants to work with a band on long term, not just releasing an album and hey, next artist. We want someone that can see the future with us. So
like a revolving door, right? You want somebody a little bit more.
Yeah. And what happens? You write new songs that are better than the lost songs, and then suddenly we can release a double album soon.
Good. I look forward to that. The video for Human Fire is fantastic too. And Trond, I saw, has a new guitar. I think it's called the Eclipse, right? ESP Eclipse.
Yeah, I bought this for like a couple of years ago, and I gave it to my son.
Wow.
And then we started to, we like to every new tour, have a different clothing and stuff. Right. And I looked at my clothes and I looked at a picture of that guitar and I called him and said, I need that guitar now. But he will get it back, of course.
You
But
you heard it first. He's
I used
picking
that
his guitars. He's
I used
picking his
that
guitars.
guitar on Out of the Dark as well, on the a couple of songs on that album.
Yeah, I never saw you have this one. When I saw you in Virginia and your old videos, I don't think you ever used this the Les Paul style guitar.
I was one time in Switzerland, I think, when I broke a string on my favorite guitar
Yeah.
during the show, and I switched to the Eclipse and found out that was to make this guitar work, you have to have thicker strings. And I've experienced that I don't like that much live. It's very hard working.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You have thicker skin, Trond, so you need
Bigger blisters, right?
Yeah, more muscles in my left.
The new costumes are great. Is that what you plan to wear, I guess, on I saw
Yeah.
promotional shots. Are you guys going to be wearing that for the contest?
we had these meetings with the Norwegian broadcasting, and they were like, "Yeah, we really like your stage wearing, and yeah, and that's what we're going to use." We work together with the Norwegian broadcasting, obviously,
Yeah.
but we said, "But you can wear this until the final." Well, then we have a problem. Then we're coming in our underwear during the
The
because
release.
these costumes, they represent 2025, and here we are.
Right. Kiss didn't change it for all the time. Kiss had it from 77 to 78, and then they had 79
It
to
is something new. I mean, even though I just happened to see a video from way back from 2009, I think, and I saw I wore the same thing that I wore for the Never Say Die album and tour, the long
coat. Yeah.
yeah
Yes, coat. Yeah. Right.
so, yeah.
I
So
love it. I think the costumes.
I was used again, but no more boas for me.
No.
I'll tell you a story. In 2006, we did a break performance in Eurovision Song Contest final in Norway.
Yeah.
And I'm coming down from the roof, hanging there in a wire, and was opening with In My Dreams, and I had this huge boa, and I'm singing, and when I land, the wire is supposed to get off at once, and immediately when I land, it's the chorus, and then all the pyro goes off,
Right.
and it catches fire.
Oh shit!
But luckily, the wire catches the boa and takes it up in. It looks like a burning peacock up there. But I didn't recognize it. So when we go off the stage and everybody was the crew and everyone came to me and said, "Are you all right? Are you all right? You're safe now. Are you all right? All right? What? Well, boa was burning. Oh hell, my boa! Yeah, he's up there." And it was it was all the ashes left of it.
Oh geez.
And I thought to myself, that could have been me.
Yeah, and everybody probably thought it was the gimmick, right?
Yeah.
The question about Human Fire too is that you guys walk a musical tightrope. You have to be relevant in 2025, yet carrying your signature 80s melodic hard rock sound. Is that a challenge to do for every song?
I don't think so. We do what we do daily basis, and I think it's like the old wigwam and the new wigwam, which is maybe a bit darker here and
Heavier.
That makes it kind of relevant today, and I don't think we think too much of it.
Yeah,
a cool song is a cool song, and sometimes more popular songs will appear too, and maybe we don't use it for that album, maybe for the next album, like we did with Never Say Die. We decided this song is going to be kind of a heavy
Yeah.
album, and there was some leftovers and songs that we had started to write on that would never have ended up on Never Say Die, but because right then after the Peacemaker success, we thought, maybe we should bring in some lighter material as well, some more poppy stuff, because this is the introduction to a new audience.
Yeah.
They obviously love. Do you want to taste it? So we shouldn't be afraid of bringing in some of the lighter stuff as well.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah, well,
Trond, when you came up with the riff for Human Fire, were you satisfied with the lyrics and how everything got married to it? I mean, was that in what you envisioned in your head when you were coming up with it? Something dark like that?
Yeah,
there was no lyrics back then.
No, there was no lyrics. Okay, he went home and brought the lyrics the next day. So, we all heard the story about Paul McCartney and the scrambled eggs that became yesterday. and that's how we work for a couple of hours, just getting the melody down and making the hooks. That is important for us, the riff and the hook.
Yeah.
And Åge went home to his parents that
I
is
live
living
there.
not far from me.
Okay.
And we met up at 10 o'clock the other next day, and
It was done.
it was done.
I sent the guys some lyrics during the night. I was sitting up in my room there, the work room, with a bottle of red wine and some candle lights and writing this. The fun part is, that when we started to work on this song,
Yeah.
and we found the right groove and stuff, and for the verses, I immediately, there was something about the chord changes there that caught my attention. And I got to think of a song that had been written many years ago. I wrote it on the piano, ding, 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 ding. And that song I called Human Fire. So, but I never used it for anything. And it had, most of the part of the verses there.
Right.
But I never got to use it. And so during a session that I did with an EDM producer, making a song for someone else, that verse actually appeared on that session. I brought that in and I called that song Human Fire, but we never used it for anything. And then I was to write a song for Jorn, with the Faith, Bloody Faith. So I used the first part of the verse from the original Human Fire, like
I can see that as EMD too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually the first thing there. It was actually, I had ripped that from my first version of Human Fire, and imaginably it just fitted with the song for this run. So
it works. It works. Yeah. Sometimes you borrow ideas, old ideas that you find a new meaning and they find a new thing that goes away. I have to wonder for Eurovision.
And his song was it was top 4, but we need to be top 1.
Yeah. What are the odds? I mean, as far as winning Eurovision 2 times, has anybody ever done that before? Any band ever done that before?
Yeah. The guy from Ireland.
Johnny Logan.
Yeah. He won 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the international Eurovision. So
yeah.
So how does it work? You win you play in Norway, you win in Norway. If you win, you go as Norway's band to represent.
And you go international. So then we go if we win in Norway, we go to Switzerland, and that's the international final.
Yeah, pretty good. I know you guys are gonna do it. Who's your toughest competition right now from the group that's in Norway?
You know, there are 8 more songs there, and they are all like very pop.
Yeah.
Good songs, but very, the kind of a lot of songs are kind of a lot of the songs are kind of similar to each other.
Yeah.
So we kind of stand out with our rock and roll approach, and we're the only band, and of course we're probably the oldest, apart from
Bobby
Bobby Sox.
Sox.
They have this 40 years anniversary, and they're back now with a kind of a dance band groove.
Yeah.
Great song, but reminds us of the 70s.
Yeah.
It's very hard to tell, it's music. It's what kind of a feeling do people have that day?
Yeah. Do you know, it's TV viewers that sit at home that has the final word on this, and so we never know. It's like playing bingo or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a win-win situation anyway, because we don't plan on, who knows if we win or don't win. I mean, what a great way to promote a new single.
Absolutely.
And so it's more like we look at it more like a bonus if we win,
Right.
and then we have a great way of promoting this to the whole world.
Yeah.
That Norwegian final, it has millions of viewers outside Norway.
Really?
So it's great promotion for that single, and it's very clever.
Do you see your streams and your sales of the song going up as you do this?
And people go into our Spotify and whatever, and you check out our videos. So it's not only that song that are picking. Same thing with Peacemaker. We can watch it, live. You see how people will kind of and then they will get into that song and that song. So many songs that started to peak.
Yeah.
Because of that one song, because we take people into our shop, kind of, our music shop.
I loved it. I started with you guys a couple of years ago, and I went backwards to your catalog, and I was like, oh my God, this stuff is great. And I spent the whole COVID time listening to all of your songs. It was such a hard time out there, and it was like, this is so uplifting and this is so fun, and it lifted spirits, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Gonna get you someday. Is that still your favorite?
I'm gonna get you someday.
Yeah, it's still your favorite.
Still my favorite. Yeah, I love singing it and screaming to it because I can't sing. But that is my all-time favorite.
The thing about playing in a band and having all this music out, I hardly go back and listen to our old work, but occasionally, there's something popping up on YouTube or wherever, and that song I almost forgotten. The other day I heard "Rocket Through My Heart." I haven't heard that for ages. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool.
That's a great song.
That's a great song too. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you forget about songs that you made way back, and then you get reminded again. Like right now, I'm having a 40 years anniversary of being on stage. 40 years on stage anniversary. So I had to pick out songs for the show, and going back finding some old songs even before Wigwam was born. It's like you have to listen to stuff that you haven't heard for ages. Like, wow, how did that thing care? It's like, it's part of your history, and it's good to look back a bit, but we're more focused on looking forward. But sometimes to sit and check out what you did way back.
When I saw you in Virginia, I was like, oh, I got a set list for you guys of all my favorite songs. The best song in the world. That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
That is
I remember
awesome.
us making that song. It was hysterical because, we had this idea, about this band, that kind of fiction story, It's the best song in the world.
It's really
so lame. That's so lame, but so fun.
I gotta tell you, it's a great song. It is absolutely like one of the the purest rock and pop songs at the same time. It's great. Really catchy. It sticks in your head, you know?
Yeah. I
Maybe we
like
should.
the sound of the guitar riff at start. I love that sound.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got it, but yeah, but it's still a great sound, and I like it.
You know,
Maybe we should do that song live again, Trond.
Yeah, maybe we should.
I think it's a great song. I really do. I can help you. I could send you a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do. We like to put a smile on people's faces, you know. And now we're going on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and actually during that cruise we're going to do three different concerts.
Oh, wow.
One major concert, maybe in the amphitheater, but maybe we'll do one on one of the islands and stuff. So then we will have time to change the set list a bit and try out stuff that we never tried before. So
Sure. I guess you got to wait for an album and you got to wait for a label and then an album and then maybe you'll come here. So hopefully maybe 2026 you'll be doing a little tour, or you think we'll see you sooner?
I hope so. We're constantly talking to our people at Arms, and they really want to take us over. They were trying to get us on the M3 festival this year, but
Yeah.
they
That would
chose
be great.
the typical American names again. So why try something new?
Well, you got David Lee Roth back, right, for M3.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
That was pretty.
So we're just kind of hoping to get over as soon as possible. And when we said we're available, the thing is, talked to our manager Ivan the other day, and everybody in Europe is like kind of put on a bit on hold now, waiting to see what happens with all kinds of rules, new rules maybe, and taxes and different things that's coming out on the new administration. So
Yeah.
it's we don't know what will happen with the visas for bands like us.
Well,
And even in Europe, they're now talking about changing the rules for American bands to come over to Europe. They will probably have to have the same kind of green the
Green card.
working visas
Yeah.
to come over, because let's face it, American bands, they've had it pretty smooth. They could come over and they'd say, we want cash.
Yeah.
For Norwegian or European bands to come over, we have to pay a lot of money to actually be able to play in the US. So it's a lot harder. But at the same time, I think American people deserve to have more variety of bands coming over to the US, especially when it's original bands.
Yeah.
I mean,
I told my wife knows I'm a huge fan of you guys. I said, they're playing a show in Norway on June 5th. And we were kicking around the idea of going to see you guys at the competition. It's only one song. And I said, maybe we'll go and see them in a whole show, so I never knew after 23 years of marriage to my wife, I never knew she wanted to go to Norway. I was like, all right. So we're going to talk.
Please come over to Norway. We'll show you the fjords and everything. We're planning a show, an outdoor show, the 14th of June. It's not official yet.
Can't say the
in our hometown, and we probably will have Samantha Fox as a guest, doing a guest appearance with the Wigwam, and we'll have some other bands supporting us, probably Cruel Intentions or Invasion with Adrian,
That's
or
great.
some Swedish blokes. So there's going to be one hell of a party. So if you have that day off, you should note that in your calendar.
All right, the 14th and the 5th. Good. Well, listen, I want to thank you guys so much for your time. I know how busy you are preparing and all the work that
We
goes.
love talking to you. So this is like a time off.
Yes.
Because once we're off with you now, it's like back to everything's stressed and you need to do this and you need to do that. And right now, sorry, we're talking to Rob now.
Very important. VIP.
Now we can relax talking to you.
Well, I love talking with you guys. I love your music, and I wish you the best with the single and on the competition. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you very
much.
much.